Greetings and salutations. On this part of the course we'll focus on the technical part of the training, more specific on the digital part of creating a digital story. Now, in this first chapter, I'll talk about interpretation and symbolism of an image. The strongest digital stories find the right balance in good imagery and story. Now, we'll give you some insight in what makes an image or photo more interesting than another. Then in the next chapter we go into more detail where you can find good images that you are allowed to use in your digital story. Most photos you find online have copyright, so you can't just plug them from the internet and use them for yourself without asking permission or paying for it. Luckily, there's a free alternative in which we go into more detail in the next video. Now, and once you have all your images, we'll start editing. We primarily advise to use iPads with iMovie to make your digital stories. Now, in case you only have access to PCs or Macs, we propose to use DaVinci Resolve. iMovie and Resolve are both free editing programs that we'll explain in detail later. But now let's move on to our first chapter, Symbolism in Images. When your group is ready to move on to start looking for images, you should start with a little interpretation game. This will make it clear what makes a good and strong image. For this game you will need a computer with a projector. Now you can download the photos you'll need in the link in the description that comes with this video. First show them the photos that start with the letter A. Now make sure they don't see the ones with the letter B yet, that's for later. Start with the first photo. Now here's a question. What do you see in this image? What's going on? You should ask that to your audience. You will probably hear people linking this photo to a wedding or a bride. Now, that's very normal, but you can explain them. They are looking with Western eyes at this photo, and if you would show this to a Chinese person, they would probably link it to a funeral, as white is the color of mourning in some Asian cultures. So you can see that culture is an important part in reading an image. Let's go on to the next photo. What does this gesture mean? For most of us it means good or great. Now it originates from diving, as a thumbs up means going up, and this gesture means all is good. Now, however, in some countries like Italy for example, this is actually quite a vulgar gesture and you should not do it in public. Now everybody knows the next symbol. What is it? Aha, well, yes, we do all link it to the Nazis. But originally, the swastika is the most sacred symbol in Hinduism and Buddhism, and a symbol of hope and peace. Now, meanings of symbols change through history, so that means time can also alter our perception. Now let's move on to the next series. You should give everyone a piece of paper and a pen, and you show all the photos that start with a B. Let everyone write down what emotion or meaning each photo symbolizes for them. When you show them all, start again at the beginning of the letter B photos. Let everyone tell what they wrote down. They will see that every photo can tell multiple stories. So here are a few interpretations of the photos, but of course there are many more. First photo you should show is this one. Now they're crossroads. They could mean different parts in life, intersections of people, derailing, crashes, unexpected meetings. The next photo, well, it could mean revolution, anger, but it could also just symbolize being strong, stubborn, stiff, or liberation. But also, if I just turn the photo around, like this, it actually looks like the fist is hitting the ground. So just by turning the photo, the interpretations were already changed. Definitely try that. Next photo is, well, it could mean loss, sadness, youth, getting older, missing someone, but it could also just mean vacation and summer. Now, you could tell them that the original photo has a little child running to the swing from the left, but we cut it off. Again, a small interference can change an image completely. Next photo. Well, toughness, but also originality. Nature conquers all. Stubbornness. The world is doomed. Hope, despair. It actually can mean completely opposite things for some people. Just the tree that is there in all the rubbish. or the rubbish taking over of nature. It's like the two different sides of the story. How about this photo of the little kid walking down the stairs? It can mean adventure, something new, which can be scary, but it can also be exciting. It can also be just an image of someone that feels small in a large space. How about the fish? This can mean being stuck or alone. It can also mean being original, feeling at home, feeling at ease. Adventure on the horizon. It can mean all of these things. It can mean something new. Now for the last photo, this can mean being unique, but it can also be alone in the crowd. Sticking out, but it can also be linked to racism. Underneath, we are all the same. Contrast. So the bottom line is to show that images sometimes tell more than just one thing. You can sometimes use a photo to show an emotion without having to tell it literally in your text. Just let your participants think about how some photos may be interpreted differently than originally intended.